show highlights 3 side dishes that can be used for any holiday season. And it includes butternut squash, stuffed mushrooms, and a beautiful sweet potato casserole. So I want you to see right now, I'm going to start boiling up the squash. I purchased it already pre-cut and pre-deseeded, and it is very reasonably priced. I recommend it so that you don't have to hollow out any butternut squashes. Add it to boiling water and make sure that it isn't excessive, that you don't have too much water. That's not too bad. And also, I'm just going to add a pinch of salt to the water, and I will boil this for about 10 to 12 minutes. So while this is being cooked, I'm going to work on the stuffed mushrooms. Now I'll show you simple directions for making stuffed mushrooms with a special seafood stuffing. So right here, I have a few mushrooms that I haven't cleaned yet, just to show you that you have to get off that extra residue. And then you take and you just lightly twist the stems out, and make sure you also have the stems wiped as well, because they're going to go into the mix. So I'll take that, put that over. I'll show you once again. I will wipe it, make sure that extra crustacean is off, and then just take and twist, getting out as much of the stem as you can, and there you have nice, clean, stuffed mushrooms, stems and hollows. So now I put them in a dish. I have a whole bunch already prepared, and I will take and re-chop the stems just to show you that they have to be really, really fine, because you have other ingredients that will be added as well. And I'll explain what they are in a minute, but that should be pretty good for the stems. Now, I'll put them in a larger bowl and add, and I said that before because this is the special ingredient, seafood stuffing mix. You can get that in the seafood section of any of your supermarkets. Then breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, diced minced type onions, and melted butter. Now I mix it all together. Make sure you get everything blended in. And now is the fun of filling the stuffed mushrooms. And take a heaping handful and press it into the mushroom, and there we begin. They work up very, very easily. And even the little ones, you can put a heaping mound and they'll stay. So now the butternut squash looks ready, but this is what I do. I take out one and cut it, and it cuts easily. We're ready to go. I'll take and drain the water. And now I'll scoop a little bit at a time and put it into a ricer. And this is an amazing implement, and I'll show you how it easily, and because there's excess water, I want to get that out, easily mashes the squash. I'll do another good scoop. It is really hot, so you have to make sure that you use a scooper and the ricer. And after I'm all through, I'll take and I'll drain out the excess water. It cooks up very easily, and people have their own choice of taste when it comes to butternut squash. I prefer just sugar, and here are the choices. The middle being cinnamon, and the other dish is brown sugar. So you can decide, and also I add a little bit of margarine, butter substitute. But this is so wonderful when you work with this ricer. I absolutely love it. And I might not have to strain the water, because it seems like only the first 2 ladlefuls had excess liquid. The rest doesn't seem too bad. There we go. Now that is a nice portion of butternut squash. And so I'm going to take the batch of squash and just give it one more strain to take out that excess liquid. You'll see that there's still a little bit in there. Not much, but enough so that you don't want it to interfere with the texture there. Okay? So now we're going to put it back in. You see how it is so nice and smooth. And I'm going to add a little bit of margarine. And I like the color of butternut squash, so that's why I like to just have the sugar. Naturally, the cinnamon and the brown sugar deepens the color. But there is a beautiful serving for quite a few people. And you can decide what you would like to put in it. But there it is, delicious butternut squash. So we have 3 more to go, and again, a heaping handful of stuffing. Just about makes it. This is 1 small box of mushrooms. And you have about 20 of them. And now it goes into a 350-degree oven for a half an hour. Do not cover it. Leave it open. Good. And now we'll start and make the sweet potato casserole. Now we get ready to prepare the sweet potato casserole. The first thing is the ingredients for the basting of the potatoes, and this is brown sugar and orange juice and butter. And so just let it all blend in and come to a boil. And while that's happening, I'm going to show you, and I put it on fairly low so that it doesn't boil out, but get it so that the butter is melted. And we have here a can of sweet potatoes. You can use regular sweet potatoes and peel them. You can decide which way you want it. I find the can is best. They're already pre-cut. And what I'm going to do is take a few of them and just cut them so that they're all pretty much the same size. And I will take and put them in a rectangular bake dish, spacing them out. Try not to put them on top of each other. And all you have to do is pour the gravy over the potatoes, and all it is, it's already boiled, the brown sugar, the orange juice, and the butter, and baste it regularly. I find that I baste it at least a couple of times in a half hour. They say 375 for a half hour. I've done it for longer. So keep watching it and you'll get a sense of what you like and when it's done. So that just make sure everything is melted and blended in. You want to make sure the butter is mixed in, and then just pour it evenly over all the potatoes. This one, if you'd like, you can also add carrots. I've done that as well, but I do find that potatoes, sweet potatoes, are the favorite. There. The mushrooms are ready, and so I'm going to very carefully take them out and try it at the end of the show. So right here, they look great. And now I'm going to be putting in the sweet potato casserole, and I have to change the temperature to 375. And I'll be basting it in between, and it should be ready in another half, 3/4 of an hour. Okay, 15 minutes have gone by, And now I'm going to take the potatoes out of the oven to show you how I basted the juices all over the potatoes. If you notice, the potatoes are starting to get darker, which means all the butter and brown sugar and orange juice blending into the potato and shows that it's baking very, very nicely. So just do the best you can to cover all of the potatoes once again, and we'll do it one more time in about 15 minutes. There. It's a little over a half an hour now, and I'm going to check out the casserole. And as you can see, it is beautiful. It's got a golden brown tinge to it, and I'll just take out one piece just to show you the texture of this beautiful sweet potato casserole. Right like so. It's too hot for me to try it right now, but it is absolutely delicious. As I mentioned in the beginning of this show, 3 sides, so easy to make in a very short time, and this is the results thereof. You have the stuffed mushrooms, the beautiful butternut squash, and the sweet potato casserole. And this is just another overview of the dishes that you can make for your favorite holiday. See you soon.